take advantage of it, I think it kind of helps. And, those guys do a great job of just detailing it and, bringing to life all the coaching points.
Coach, where do you feel like the most improvement has come in the defensive line overall? Because obviously, the first couple of weeks, there were so many questions, and now you guys have become the strength of the team. What's allowed that part to happen? But what do you think that progress has been like for this group?
Yeah, listen, to start the year, there were some challenging moments, but like that is the foundation. And you use those moments. You learn. Each individual learns. I learn as a coach. It's a new group. Every year is different. So I think we've grown just from the standpoint of understanding our job, playing to our strengths individually, and just taking pride in doing our job, like not worrying about necessarily what's going on outside of your control. Like you focus on doing your job and dominating and playing as absolute hard as you can, and don't worry about everything else, and believing in yourself. And we've kind of kept that mindset, insulated ourselves from, in a sense. And to be honest, man, our mindset isn't like, oh, we're good now. Nah, we still.
All right, everybody, what's up? It's the Leprechauns podcast. I'm Jason. This is Nate, and we are back for another week of exciting Notre Dame football. Hopefully not as exciting as last week, because it'd be great to have a nice, easy win today, but it's Navy, so it'll probably be a heart attack special going up into the last few seconds. But I do expect the guys to come out ready to go, hopefully ready to beat Navy, take care of that triple option. And, should be fun. Indy 559 Luis, 4 quarters of Chinga tu Madre football. For those not bilingual, that means, it's a bad word. I'm not going to say that, Luis.
Use the dictionary.
Use
the internet.
Use ChatGPT or something to figure out what he's saying.
AI.
So anyways, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about Navy Notre Dame, getting you guys ready for the game. The game starts in just under an hour. So excited to see the Irish come out and take care of business. Nate, I know you've been doing some research on the midshipmen. Obviously, we know they're going to come out and run the ball some more, and then try to catch us off guard with some plays in the air. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? How are we going to match up against these guys?
Yeah, it's almost exactly how it was, how we were looking at it last year in the Notre Dame Navy game. We said Navy has some guys on defense that can be game wreckers, and Notre Dame dropped 40-plus points on them. So I expect something similar. I don't think the Navy defense is as good as last year's. I think, it lost a couple safeties. They're not getting as many turnovers as they have been. They're turning the ball over a lot more on offense than I think I've ever seen a Navy team turn the ball over. Their quarterback, Blake Horvath, who might not even play today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been dealing with an issue since the North Texas game. He fumbled once last week and threw 2 interceptions, and he has 6 combined interceptions and fumbles this year and 7 passing touchdowns. So he almost has as many turnovers as he does passing touchdowns.
Not a great stat.
And it feels like he's been at Navy for 10 years.
All those guys, Keenan Reynolds before him, man.
Yeah,
they were always there.
That dude was crazy.
Yeah, he was good.
They also, have their multitude of running backs. You have Eli Heidenrich, Alex Texka, who is like their fullback. They have Brandon Chapman, who's like their Y back, I guess you would say. He can, go out in the flat and catch some balls whenever they have to throw the ball. I don't expect them to throw the ball much today. I mean, obviously it's Navy, but, especially if Horvath does play, I expect the Irish to bring a lot of pressure on defense to make him feel uncomfortable, because if they get settled, Navy can, take a game over with their controlling of the game and stuff like that. You do have to take into account they gave up 31 points to North Texas last week. North Texas's offense is pretty good. They have one of the better quarterbacks in the country, but, they shouldn't give up 31 points if you're Navy. Another thing, they have trailed at least in 5 games out of their 8 games that they've played so far this year. The only teams they haven't trailed to is VMI, UAB, and Rice. And they beat Rice by 8. So, I don't know. There's not much to like about Navy's strength of schedule. I literally just got a report from ESPN from Pete Thamel. Navy quarterback Blake Horvath is out for tonight's game at Notre Dame with an upper body injury that he suffered toward the end of the North Texas game.
All right.
So that answers it on the spot. So that works for us. So no Blake Horvath. I'm assuming they'll go with the guy that ended the game last week, and that is Jay Gutierrez. Jackson Gutierrez.
It's never easy to work in a new quarterback, obviously, in game action, especially against Notre Dame and on the road for them. So that's a big blow for them. I really do think it is, because that triple option, it's all about that repetition of practice and the guys being able to communicate with each other, and that's going to be a big loss for them. Frank McGrath asked, do you think the weather will be a factor in stopping these option runs? I think it will be for us for a little bit. The only other concern I have is the fact that we are down 2 starting defensive linemen. Gabe Rubio's out, and Donovan Heinisch is also out. So you got 2 of our starting defensive linemen out. So you're going to see Jared Dawson, Jason Onier, Elijah Hughes. I'm really hoping we see Sean Sevillano, man. Come on, give Big Bear some reps. Dude's just a nasty, nasty beast. You'll see some of Cole Mullins. We are huge fans of Cole Mullins. He wears number 42. Tremendous motor. He's a guy that wasn't necessarily recruited very high, but he's a total effort guy. So I think you're going to see a little bit more of Cole Mullins, like I said, Elijah Hughes, Jared Dawson, and of course Jason Onier. So
I like that mix last week with Dawson and Onier. I think they got in the backfield a lot. Dawson seemed to be playing with a little bit of an edge last week. I don't really know what it was.
For sure.
If you continue that this week, the D-line really – you could see a difference in the pressure the D-line got last week.
Agreed.
I know that's kind of a thing that got swept under the rug because of an ugly game last week.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get the same pressure as they did last week and get in the backfield as they did against Navy, that's crazy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about who Navy's going to be starting at quarterback. In that little ESPN article, they're starting Braxton Woodson. He hasn't thrown any passes this year. He did have one start last year, and he beat ECU at ECU.
Eastern Carolina.
Yep. 165 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So more of a passing quarterback, I guess you'd say. But, there's not a lot of quote-unquote film, I guess, on some of these guys. So that's the thing that I guess kind of worries me. But, as we saw in the SC game, it was hard for Maeva, and even when they did that stupid end-around pass thing, like it was tough to throw tight spirals and get in there. So, I don't expect them to throw the ball around. I think this helps Notre Dame with Horvath being out because, Horvath can beat you with his arm. Well, you can't really count on Woodson to beat you with his arm because he hasn't thrown a ball in a year. So almost exactly a year. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they come out and if they had already planned on kind of having this as a backup or what. Jess Marino wanted to get to this, Nate. I know this is kind of your thing too. Jess Marino asked, will we see field goal attempts?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. You can point to the many failures that have happened this year in the kicking game, A&M last week against BC, all those attempts, but it's not going to get better if you just completely stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to at least see what you got. Notre Dame's trying out Eric Schmidt, the freshman kicker, and I think that's 100%.
I don't even think trying out. I think Coach Freeman's pretty much said that's our guy.
Yeah, and I think that's the right decision because if Burnett's not 100%, you can't keep running him out there.
No chance.
I think it's shooting yourself in the foot. And it's a lot of pressure to put on Burnett to say, hey, you're injured, go out there and kick us a 39, 49-yard field goal.
Yep.
When you can say, hey, Eric Schmidt, you're at home at Notre Dame Stadium, people are going to be cheering for you, maybe sarcastically a little bit, but you can really make a name for yourself and cement yourself at Notre Dame at kicker for the next 4 or 5, however many years.
100%. Yeah, and tonight will be a challenge. It's going to be raining. It's Navy will be aggressive in getting after the kicks because they know that's our weakness. So it's not going to be a shoe-in. It's not going to be nothing's a chip shot at this point. For crying out loud, we saw what happened last year. Stick that freshman in and see if he's our future. I think that's the point at this point. Yeah. Let's see. Chris Pruitt says Notre Dame played good in the rain against FUSC. Of course, different style teams. Yeah, definitely very different. But, like Nate said, if their quarterback has to throw it a little bit, then that'll be very interesting to see what they can do against the likes of Christian Gray and Leonard Moore. We didn't talk too much about it last week, so we're just trying to get in and out of that game. But Leonard Moore showed that he was human last week. But at the same time, people got lost. What got lost in the sauce is the good plays he did make. I think that he played a lot better than people give him credit for because he did get burned on that one long touchdown pass from Boston College. but I just don't see any Navy wide receiver, tight end, or anything being able to truly compete against Leonard Moore. So I'm normally pretty nervous about this game. For some reason, I feel I feel confident, cautiously confident about the game. Especially not knowing that Horvath is out, I think that's going to be a real challenge for Navy to kind of come through with that. I like this from Wayne Smith, our buddy Wayne on the podcast on YouTube. Maybe a fake field goal with Buckner rolling out and throwing. I would love that. Big Buckner fan here, even though he did leave for a year and did screw up that snap, but whatever. But yeah, I would love to see a little trickeration, have that Tyler Buckner throw. You got to know that Navy's going to be prepared for that kind of thing, so we just kind of have to be ready for it. But it'll be interesting. Where does Navy rank in some of the statistical categories this year, Nate? I know I saw that they're number one by a large margin in overall team rushing. That obviously makes sense when you rush the ball on pretty much every other play. I saw their total offense is actually more impressive than it has been in the past. Total offense, they're number 16 overall. They average 466.2 yards per game, which, like you mentioned with their schedule, is not exactly a shining accomplishment, but they're still going to move the ball. And I think people need to understand, obviously, if you're watching the show, you know that this is a historic rivalry and that these games are tough. And we're not telling you anything new that it's going to be a fight, but there's going to be big plays. They're going to break some for a 20, 30-yard gain, and we're all going to get frustrated and all that. But I think weather the storm, no pun intended, because it is going to be raining, and then just punch them in the mouth. And Drake Bowen, Jaden Osbury, Jalen Sneed, KVA, Madden Faraimo, for that matter, they're going to have to have big games and tackle. And if there's one thing we know Drake Bowen can do, he can tackle.
Yeah, he's a thumper. One thing I wanted to point out, Navy's defense is one of the worst against the pass in the country. They're 116th in opponent passing yards per game at 255. So I could see, there's no slight to any of the teams Navy's played, but they're not Notre Dame, and their quarterbacks aren't CJ Carr. And I really think CJ is going to have a crazy game today. One thing about Navy is they're very even in terms of scoring wise. They score 17 in the first half, about 17 and a half in the second half. So Notre Dame needs to start quick. I said that last week in the pre-show. They need to start quick. They have gotten off to slow starts more than usual, I think I'd say. But I want to go back to defense for a second. I think we need to have the whole Notre Dame fan base as a whole needs to start having more confidence in the Notre Dame defense, because I think the Notre Dame defense is here. The ass jokes are funny. The struggles at the beginning of the season weren't funny, but the jokes were funny to, cope with what was a terrible defense. But the Notre Dame defense has been tremendous. Like last week, obviously not the greatest game, but you look at games like that, like 10 points against BC, 24 against SC, 7 against NC State, 7 against Boise State, 13 against Arkansas. That stretch right there is tremendous.
Yeah.
Especially after a 30 Purdue score, 41 from A&M, and 27 from a struggling Miami.
I'm not going to lie. I totally forgot about the Boise State game.
Yeah. Fair. That's fair.
I literally forgot we even had that game.
I just remember that stupid trick play that they scored on.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Good call. A couple comments from our friends here. Rich Dutcher says Navy's option shouldn't scare us anymore, for sure. I mean, it's especially some of these guys like Drake Bowen and Osbury have seen it 2-3 times now. It should be no problem, and I really hope it's not. Fighting Irish faithful out of left field here with Go Air Force.
Sure.
You're right, Nate, about the defense. Yeah, I agreed with Nate on that 100%. I think the defense is here to stay, and obviously today will be a test in terms of the triple option, and then we'll get into our remaining tough game against Pitt and their big good quarterback next week. Gary Kennedy, since halftime of Purdue, our defense has been on fire. Yeah, something really lit their butts on fire. I think it was probably Freeman saying, hey, Chris Ash, give me the headphones. You just sit there and look pretty or something, because it seems like it's been a totally different team.
Maybe it was the rain delay that helped, or the lightning delay, whatever.
Just so reporting this again, Nate broke it earlier in the show, but Kellyanne reaffirming here, looks like Blake Horvath is out for the game tonight versus Navy. Just seen it announced. Yeah, so no Blake Horvath, their starting quarterback. What's the backup kid's name?
Woodson. What's his first name? Craig or something? No, not Craig. Braxton Woodson.
Yeah. So he can throw it a little bit, but again, coming into Notre Dame Stadium with a first-time starting quarterback is not going to be an easy feat at all.
Second career starter.
I'm sorry. Good call.
First of the season, though.
Yeah, first of the season in a rainy environment. It's going to be, ball control will be everything. We got to limit their possessions. We saw what happened last week. Boston College had that one drive that lasted like 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Got to prevent that kind of thing from Navy because it will come back to bite us in the butt. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, sorry. We're going to reiterate it, Kelly. Good job dropping it here, though. Appreciate it. Dennis McCarthy, what's up, you bunch of wild guys? Go Irish. Looks like this guy's got a Marine Corps uniform on. So Dennis, thank you for your service. I'm sure you're a little bit conflicted on this one, but I'm a fan of Navy literally 364 days out of the year, just not when Notre Dame plays Navy. But any other time, my dad was in the Navy, so he's a veteran of the naval arts, of the Navy. And so, yeah, it's go Navy, beat Army, except for today, it's go Irish all the time. Let's see, no pooping?
From this last comment, just pooped on.
Oh, yeah, no pooping allowed. Let's see here. Kellyanne says, I'll be at the Pitt game. So excited for next week. Yeah, that's gonna be a game, that's for sure. You guys just never stop. Let's see. What is this? That's the same thing. Go Air Force. I don't understand that one, Joe, but okay.
It's got to be explained.
Yeah, Joe, you're gonna have to explain yourself. Go Air Force. I think are they playing somebody we need to lose? I thought they were just playing Oregon State or something.
They're playing San Jose State.
San Jose State, same thing. Crazy games today. You saw Penn State and Indiana go down to the wire. Indiana losing would have definitely helped, but watching Penn State continue to fail is good for the soul. They deserve every bit of it. Their fans are absolute atrocious. Iowa just went up on Oregon with 2 minutes left. Wow,
that's crazy.
That's huge. That would be massive.
Going for 2.
And they're going for 2, so it's
try to make it a 3-score game.
3-score.
Or not 3. I'm sorry, 3-point game.
Yeah, they'll have to come back. 1 minute, 51 seconds left in the fourth, and Iowa's going for a 2-point conversion. Let's see if they can get it here. This is great. It's in Iowa, so you got to
tip ball. Oh, wow.
He caught him and he jumped out of bounds.
No, he caught
they're going to give it to him. All right, so Iowa goes up 3 with 1:51 to play, and Oregon has
3 timeouts.
3 timeouts left. So that's not going to be too hard for them, I don't think.
I don't know. Iowa's defense is good.
Joe, my brother's a colonel in the Air Force. How did I not ever know that? That's crazy. Good stuff. Joe, tell him thank you for his service. And if he's watching, thank you for your service, Mr. Newark.
Fighting Irish Faithful.
Fighting Irish Faithful. Brother Fighting Irish Faithful. Let's see. Clint Shaw says, I'm ex-Navy. Bittersweet game. Will always take my Irish. Clint, thank you for your service. And, yeah, definitely bittersweet again. I love Navy, just not tonight. So, let's see. The game starts in about an hour. So, for the next 4 hours, I hope we sink the ships. After that, I hope they beat Army and Air Force and Coast Guard, everybody. Let's see. Have you guys gone over the injury report for ND? Who's out for tonight? So, Donovan Heinisch is out for tonight. Gabe Rubio is also out for tonight. Christian Gray apparently is going to play, from what we understand. Who else was questionable?
So I have the full availability.
Thank you.
From Notre Dame's PR team. Cooper Flanagan out. Donovan Heinisch out. Micah Gilbert, Christian Gray, and Jaden Greathouse are questionable. One interesting thing about Jaden Greathouse from Pete Sampson, he said that he was out with the receivers. They were wearing T-shirts and shorts, and Greathouse was going through some of the drills and warm-ups. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so out of that group, the only one that we really want to keep our eye on is Christian Gray. I thought I heard that he was a go, but I could be wrong. It would be great to have him, but at the same time, I almost feel like rest him one more week and get him ready for that Pitt quarterback because I thought the Dallas Golden, Mark Zachary, and I'm forgetting somebody else last week did pretty well at that spot. So I think if with the first-time quarterback and if Christian Gray is even remotely questionable, let's have him rest up. Get ready for Pitt next week. 574 Skate Rat, I think that's our boy Walter Mackey on YouTube, says, I don't think Pitt has a defense to stop Love or Price. They haven't faced a ranked team yet. They don't have any threats at running back or wide receiver. Well, I could be wrong. I think that's a mismatch win for Indy. Hope you're right, bro. We'll talk a lot more about that next week. Wayne Smith on YouTube. My favorite part of seeing Navy in Baltimore was watching the Navy band walk in at halftime out in the corridor. Yeah, I bet that was cool. I didn't know you went to that game, Wayne. That's pretty cool. 2-point not good. Oh, he said it was no good. Okay.
I guess they overturned it.
Texas Tech beat BYU. Texas A&M is putting it on Missouri at Missouri. It's 31-17 with 5 minutes left. That'll probably put Missouri out, but once again, it looks good for us that A&M continues to win. They'll go to 9-0 here. Probably go up to the number 2 team. I don't see how you keep Indiana at number 2 after they almost got beat by a really bad Penn State team. You guessed correct. Yep, it was Walter. Let's see. Walter Mackey. 5'7" skate rat.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. We haven't played Navy in South Bend in 4 years. Last time was 2021.
Good call.
It's honestly kind of crazy.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, that game always it's like always in the most weird locations. It was in Ireland a couple years ago. Last year was in Baltimore. I would love one day to go to a game at Annapolis. I think that would be incredible. But I don't think have they ever. I don't know. That'd just be fun to go to. Watch out for Kingston Viliamasu Asa, KVA, better known as KVA. I think he's going to have a monster game today.
Yeah,
I went back. I watched, for God knows what reason, I went back and watched some of the highlights of the Notre Dame BC game, and I still can't believe they called that excessive celebration when he did the tribute to Jalen Smith.
I don't know if it was the Jalen Smith
tribute. It was 100% a tribute.
I mean, that part might have been, but it wasn't what got flagged. It was the nose wipe or whatever.
Oh, you're right. Okay, well, regardless, it was a cheap call. And then Burnham not getting the face mask was absolutely insane. Yeah. Annapolis is beautiful, but their stadium was too small. Yeah, what is this thing? It's like 50,000 or something like that. If that, it's crazy. Future king of our defense. Oh, I actually kind of like that. Not bad, Walter. KVA is a menace. Yeah, he's just he's so much fun to watch play. I just love it. This is a pretty good comment here, Walter. Must have been eating your Wheaties today, buddy.
Want to do our player of the game?
Yep, we'll do that right now. We got a couple minutes left, so you go first, Nate, on offense, then I'll go on offense, then you can do defense.
I'm going to go CJ Carr, and I think this is a possibility where we see CJ Carr having his first ever 400-yard game. I know that's kind of crazy to say, but Navy's pass defense is terrible. There's really no other way around it. I think the only way he doesn't get to 400 is if the score is, out of reach in terms of Notre Dame's up too big. But yeah, I think we see a CJ Carr that is relaxed and focused at home. He can deal with the rain. We saw that in the SC game. He bounces back after a few, we'll say, tough games. And so CJ Carr is my offensive player of the game.
Okay. My offensive player of the game, and actually Patrick just stole my thunder. Patrick Kilkline, want to give him a huge shout out. He's been helping us out with some of the articles we've been posting, the different steps to get into the playoffs for Notre Dame. So thank you, Patrick, for being a great part of the Dos Leprechauns team. But he said Eli Reardon gets his first touchdown tonight. I actually have Eli Reardon as my player of the game. He seems to be getting better each week, and he's a safety valve, but he's also a playmaker. I think he's going to go off tonight. I don't see any player on that entire team that can stop or even run with Eli Reardon. So I'm looking for Eli Reardon on offense. Nate, you got on defense?
I think I'm going to go KVA. I might be yeah, I know. That's mostly my pick. But KVA is just a monster. He's fun to watch. He's the closest linebacker I think we've had to Jalen Smith in a while.
Yeah.
The speed, the ferocity he plays with, the fire, just everything that he plays with is just so fun to watch, and it's literally must-see TV. So. Yeah.
No, he's an absolute menace. Somebody said that earlier, but he's fun to watch. He just gets after it. My player of the game, I'm actually going to go with Adon Schuler. I think Adon's going to create some turnovers tonight. I think he's going to have a turnover tonight, and he can tackle. Him and Drake Bowen, both guys that are sure tacklers, and that's what you're going to need against a triple option. Honorable mention on my defense, I'm going to go with Cole Mullins. I can see Cole Mullins coming in tonight and just going ballistic and really stuffing up that middle. Especially since it's an undersized offensive line. He's not the biggest guy, but he's quick and he's just got a great motor. So I think I'm going to go first Adon Schuler, and then honorable mention will be Cole Mullins. So we'll see how that shakes out.
I'm going to also throw a hot take out there. Eric Schmidt has a clean slate tonight, like completely clean. Extra points all made, field goals made if we need them. I'd say Schmidt goes 4 for 4, extra points and field goals.
Okay, all right. So Nate's calling his shot, says Eric Schmidt's going 4 for 4 with field goals and PATs. I do not concur with that assessment, but I hope he's right. We've got a couple other predictions coming on. Gary Candidate thinks Price will have a monster game. I think so too. Jimbo Mueller says, go Irish, fired up, boys. Yeah, I'm always fired up. We're about 45 minutes from game time. Gary Candidate says his player of the game is Drake Bowen. KVA has a fun. Patrick Kilkline, Jalen Sneed can be huge too. Yeah, I think all the linebackers are going to have good games tonight. I think there's been a lot of an emphasis on stopping the triple option. They had, can't remember who they had. They said they had running scout team.
Herbert or whatever.
Herbert, yeah, Blake Herbert, good call. So, yeah, you got a good guy in there playing the scout team, and that's going to always help your defense get ready for this funky option, triple option that you're going to see. Fullback lined up already past the first down marker. It's such a weird. Let's see. My player of the game is Eric Schmidt. Okay.
Let's
All right,
go.
Dennis. I
Let's
like
go.
it. Okay. So, Dennis McCarthy calling a shot. Make sure you jump back on afterwards to collect your air high fives.
Virtual high five.
Virtual high fives. Because I hope you guys are right, but I just don't see it until I'm proven otherwise, and I hope I am proven wrong. Let's see. Faison will have a good game. That's from Nelson Rudd. I think I offensively we shouldn't have any trouble. We'll see what happens, but yeah, you got the fleet. That's kind of ironic that they're called the fleet. We're playing Navy this week, but you got the fleet. You got Faison. You got CJ Carr. I think it's gonna be a fun night for Notre Dame offense. Love for 260 tonight. Whoa.
All purpose or just rushing?
I don't even think he's going to have an opportunity to get that many yards. I hope they rest him at some point. I'd like to see a nice little dose of Aeneas Williams tonight.
Aeneas, who am I missing?
Does Jabron Payne exist?
Seriously.
I
I see him in a lot of hype videos and stuff, but
Toby Thompson, Navy quarterback, is out. Yeah, if you're just joining us, Blake Horvath is out for tonight. We're still waiting on word with regarding Christian Gray. We'll try to update you guys before the game starts. We got Jeff Strabajak, who's usually on with us for these pregame shows. He's actually on site in this house that Rockney built. So he's in there bringing it to us. He'll have some updates and who's out there and whatnot. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. Good night tonight for Notre Dame. All right, with that, we're going to jump off. You guys enjoy the game. We'll see you back in a few hours. Probably less because that game always goes so fast. We'll see you back in a few hours to talk about the game, what went well, what didn't, and then look ahead to Pitt. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Go Irish. Beat Navy.